Welcome, everybody, to Gentle Yoga. Thanks for joining me. This is Leo Bray on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. Please visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook to check out our schedule of daily classes and visit the tip jar where you can make contributions online to support our Zoom classes and YouTube videos, which are the same videos. So, we'll start our gentle class today in child's pose. So you can come up to your hands and knees, bring your big toes to touch. If you want, send your knees further apart and sit back towards your heels. You don't have to sit all the way back on your heels like I just did. That's just what my body wants to do. You might sit up higher. You might even put a prop under your seat if you want. Sometimes people like a bolster or pillow or a block between the heels and their seat or between their seat and the floor. You can reach your hands forward. In different ways, you might vary your child's pose. You can keep reaching forward and make it more active, but for a gentle class, you might just let your arms be slack. If your head doesn't quite reach the floor, you might stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. You can also rest your forehead on a prop, but you want your head to land on something so your neck will disengage. To get disengaged further in the upper body, you might reach your hands back towards your feet instead of reaching your arms forward. Then your shoulders can really let go. Bigger way to vary the posture. So find your child's pose. Lots of different things. Sometimes people rest with a bolster under their chest crosswise or under their torso lengthwise. Support the whole torso. Finding your comfortable stillness, your child's pose. Focus on your breathing, letting it get slower and deeper. Observing the movements of your breathing and the way that those movements feel, the way these deeper, slower breaths feel. Notice whatever other feelings are present in your physical body. And it's all right to note non-physical things as well, of course. Inventorying where you're at in this moment. Especially note anything that you might label as negative. Any stiffness, any soreness. And these negatives might also be non-physical things. Maybe it's irritation or impatience or something milder like fatigue. Whatever you've got going on, making note of it so you can keep it in mind during practice. Use it to help you find the practice that's best for you by skipping or modifying anything at all to suit yourself. So sometimes that's the more mundane things about having a pain or some stiffness somewhere, but maybe skipping and modifying things is about being more patient or more gentle with yourself too. Whenever your mind wanders, as it always will, gently redirect. Bring your focus back to your breathing, observing your experience and honoring your experience, making the practice your own. Another way to further do that is to set a more personal intention for your practice. So we can share these intentions of observing ourselves, taking care of ourselves, but maybe there's something more specific to you, more tailored to what you've already noticed as you took inventory of yourself. If you want to set any other intentions, let them finish forming up and taking root. And before we begin moving out of our child's pose, let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sigh. If you have reached your hands back towards your feet, reach them forward. Bring your arms in front of you. And take your time. Inhale slowly, drift forward, and we'll sort of wriggle our way up to table, up on our hands and knees, with the hands opened way up, shoulders above the wrists, and hips above the knees. To make this gentler, you might also have your wrists forward of where your shoulders are, giving less bend in the wrists. Some people don't like having the wrists at this like 90-degree position. Inhale to bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, draw your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. And just follow your breath for a few more rounds, moving slowly, continuously, deliberately, observing whether the movements get bigger, the breaths grow longer with repetition. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe you can't quite tell. Just observe whatever is going on for you. And then just let your body drift and explore movement any which way. Just see where your body wants to move. You might close your eyes, listening into your body. Like the stretching you do when you first wake up that you don't really think about, you're just going based on feeling. In the course of the next few breaths, wrap up your explorations, and we'll all meet back at table in this sort of squared off position. Reach back with your left foot and press the ball of your foot against the floor for a couple breaths. With your next inhale, reach your right arm to the side. If you want to go further, on the next inhale, pick your left foot up, reach straight back through the sole of your foot. If you like, bend your knee and reach back, see about taking a bind. Opening your shoulders, stretching your quads, lift your knee, lift your chin. Release the bind if you're in the bind. Let your knee and your hand come back down. Reach back and press into the ball of your right foot for a couple of breaths. With your next inhale, reach your left arm out to the side. If you want to go further, on the next inhale, pick your right foot up, reach straight back. If you like, bend your knee, reach back, see about taking that bind. Look forward, kick against your hand and raise your knee a bit. Release. Lower down. We'll do some twists now from here, starting from table. The twist will start at the waist and work into an arm extension. We'll go to the left first. So inhaling, twist to the left through your lower back, middle back, upper back, then reach your left arm out and up and look up towards your hand. Exhale, come down, reach across under your body behind the other arm. Thread the needle, and we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, open up and reach up and look up. Exhale, come down and reach across again. 1 more, big inhale, open. Big exhale, twist inward, and then nice and slowly bending the right elbow, let your left shoulder come down to the floor, the left side of your head come down to the floor. If it seems like your head doesn't want to quite make it to the floor, shift your hips forward until your head can find its way to the floor. Now that might be a lot of twists for you right there. Maybe that's where you stay. You have a lot of options from here. You could just stay right there and breathe. To explore some extensions, you might reach back and press into the ball of your foot, or pick your foot up and reach back in the air. It's a little more challenging, a little more daring. Sometimes you roll over onto your back. You might bring that foot over towards your left hand. You could skip all that and keep that knee planted. You might reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and let your arm go back and forth, rotating in the shoulder socket like an owl turning her head. Or you might bend your elbow and fold your arm across your back. And you can do the arm extension without the leg extension, or the leg extension without the arm, or do them both, or skip them both. See what works for you. And we'll start to rewind everything. So if you've moved your right hand off the floor, bring it back and ground into it to stabilize. And then if you've moved your right knee off the floor, bring that leg back to center and draw the knee down. Press into your right hand. Inhale, open up. Reach up and look up 1 more time. And let that left hand down. And take 3 or 4 breaths of cow pose, cat pose, before we do all that on the other side. And this is the part where I do a 180 so that I'm not facing away from the microphone when I come to the twist. When you're ready, twisting to the right, starting from the waist, working up the spine into the arm extension. Inhale through the lower back, middle back, upper back. Reach your right arm out and up, look up towards your hand. Exhale, come down and reach across. And we'll do it 2 more times before we lower down and maybe explore extensions. Really take your time to let that right shoulder down and let your head come down. And do what you like. Choose your adventure. Maybe you reach back with your foot or bring it to the side. Maybe you explore that rotation in the shoulder socket, or take the half bind, or a bit of both. So if your left hand's not on the ground, take your time and bring it back. If your left knee is not on the ground, take your time and bring it back. Press into the left hand. Inhale, open up one more time. Reach up, look up. Exhale, bring that hand down and take those cow-cat breaths. And we'll start to stand up. Step your right foot up between your hands. Step your left foot up to meet it. Hang out in your forward fold here. Sway back and forth. Bend and straighten your legs. A little or a lot as you like. Hands hanging in the air, maybe dragging on the ground, or resting on blocks, or clasping your elbows. If you're clasping your elbows or clasping your hands behind your head, let your arms hang down again. Nice and slowly nod your head yes, and shake your head no. I was asked if you can, somebody asked me, why do you have to let your arms hang down and release the bind before you shake your head and nod your head? And it's so that your trapezius can relax. If you're clasping your elbows or clasping your hands behind your head, the trapezius muscle is more contracted than if your arms are hanging down. Inhale, lift halfway up, hands to the front of your legs. Push against your legs, feel for the crown of your head moving forward away from your tailbone. Exhale, relax down, knees nice and soft. Inhale, roll to standing, hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands at your heart. And let your hands hang down at your sides. Lift your right shoulder towards your ear and shift it back and let it down. And your left shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach out to the sides. Exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, come to eagle arms. If you're in eagle, move elbows and hands up and forward. Inhale, open up again. As you exhale, cross your arms the opposite way, reach for your shoulder blades and have a hug, or take your eagle. Inhale to open up. Exhale, twist to the right. Take a full breath or two in this twist. Inhale, face front again. And exhale, twist to the left. Take a breath or two in the twist. Inhale back through center. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms up. Look up at your hands and lift up your heart. Inhale to bring yourself upright. Exhale to bend to the left. Feel for length through both arms and try to keep that right heel anchored. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to bend to the right, keeping your left heel anchored. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let your arms come down. I'll grab a sip of my water before we do some sun salutations. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands and step back to plank. Find a good long plank shape for a couple breaths. Hips coming down in line with shoulders and heels. Or if you let your knees down for a shorter plank, which you're welcome to do, hips come down in line with shoulders and knees. Then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Let everything go. Untuck your toes, rest your chin. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest to whatever height of heart opener feels okay for your low back each time we come through. Exhale, rock back up onto your hands and knees. Slowly to the first downward dog. Curl your toes under. Press into your feet to lift your knees. Press into your hands and lift your tailbone. Pedal your feet up and down to walk your dog out. Heels getting closer and closer to the floor. Back of the body lengthening out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale down. Step back to your plank. Maybe this time as you exhale, lower just halfway or all the way if you prefer. Inhale to bring your heart forward. Exhale, back it up. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And just one more of those. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, down. Plant your hands and step back to plank. When you're ready, exhale, lower. Inhale to bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up. Now let's take 3 cleansing breaths in this downward facing dog. Let your knees gently down. Make your way to child's pose. And just as we did with the first child's pose, vary it however you like. And once you're in your child's pose, observe what's going on. And just breathe. See if you can note any differences in how things in your body are feeling compared to the previous child's pose. Inhale, bring yourself forward, up to table. Now let's grab our blocks. Explore some rocking movement in the hips and some leg extension. So you may use blocks here, you may not. It's good to have them handy. Most people use them to some degree here. You're going to step your right foot forward. We're going to sit back towards the left heel, staying long in the torso. So maybe you keep the blocks under your hands. And then rock onto the right heel as you come back. So you don't have to go this low. This came with practice. So the front leg is long with the toes up. Top of the back foot is down. We're going to rock back and forth. So come forward and bring those blocks with you. And maybe you go further. So knee comes forward past the ankle, stretching more in the hip and the quads. We're just going to explore that and go as far as it feels okay for you on the backward movement and the forward movement. Glide back and glide forward. And pause as you like too, if it feels good to take a couple extra breaths here, or back here, or maybe it feels good to just glide back and forth. And maybe you find you don't need blocks. Some of it has to do with how far you can go in the hips and the legs, and some of it has to do with the proportions of your body, how long are your arms. So I can do this on my fingertips, but I kind of enjoy it more with the blocks. It feels steadier. There's no need to overexert or strain hands, fingers, wrists. Over time, things get stronger. The blocks are wonderful. It's like bringing the floor closer to your hands. Then you might pick your blocks up like this. You might just slide your blocks along the mat, whatever you like. Now let's switch legs. So come back with the right knee and step the left foot forward. And start to explore that movement here. Sit back, long arms, long torso, glide forward. So I'm keeping my neck long, I'm keeping my arms long, and I'm exploring what my hips seem to need, how far they want to go, not pushing at either end, exploring how much stretch in the front of the hip and the quad, how much stretch in the hamstrings feels good. And then let's step to forward fold. We're gonna come to standing. Slowly rise up. Bring your hands to your heart. Now just gently explore playing with tree pose a bit. Set your eyes on something straight ahead that won't move. Feel free to step over by the wall or a piece of furniture for support to grab onto. Shift your weight from one leg to the other, feet resting on the floor. When you're ready, bring the weight into your right leg. Let that knee stay a little soft. Don't lock it up. Turn your left toes to the side so your feet are perpendicular. Draw your heel towards your ankle and on to your ankle. So you might stay there for a tree pose with both feet on the ground. Or you might bring the sole of your foot onto your calf. Over time, sometimes we get to the point of bringing the sole of the foot to the thigh. Just never want to press on the knee. Better to stay on the calf than to risk pressing your knee the wrong way. Your hands can stay at your heart, or the branches of your tree can go wherever they want. You can always change your mind about where your foot is. Maybe your body will change it for you. Sometimes it doesn't want to stay where you put it, and that's all right. We just change it up. Wherever the foot is, the knee is tracking out to the side. Sometimes it's nice to just check in with that hand, see if that knee's coming over, because we're opening, and here is one of the things we're aiming at is opening that hip. If your hands are elsewhere, bring them back to your heart, press them together, pivot your knee forward, and let your foot down. Shake your right leg, and anything else you want to shake. Sometimes there's a little dance, sometimes there's snap, crackle, pop. When you're ready, bring your hands back to your heart. Reset where your eyes are aimed. Rock back and forth a few times. When you're ready to, drop the weight into your left leg. Turn your right toes out, pivot your foot. Try your right foot in, up. See what placement works. Might be the kickstand foot, maybe the sole on the calf, maybe on the thigh. If you fall, you're human. If you get up, you're a yogi. And let your arms find their expression. Whatever feels good. Whatever your arms want to do, whatever your body is calling for. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure the left knee stays soft and responsive, kind of bouncy. It doesn't have to move a lot, but it should be allowed to as needed. The harder surface you stand on, the easier these things are. Standing on 2 mats on wall-to-wall carpeting, which is not ideal. This makes it all more challenging. Hardwood floors are nice, bamboo and things like that. The more cushion you're on, the more difficult it is to balance on one foot. So if you've got one of those thicker mats, it's nice to step off your mat and onto the floor. When you're ready, if your hands are elsewhere, bring them back to your heart and bring your knee forward and let your foot down and shake as needed. Let's come down and have a seat. I'll have a drink on my way there. Extend your legs forward and flex your feet back towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. As you exhale, fold down over your legs. If your knees want to bend, let them bend. When you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. When you exhale, think of lowering a bit more. Feeling for release in your lower back. Inhale, walk your hands up the front of your legs and sit up. Use your arms to help your legs open, your legs out. And bend your right leg, bring your right foot over by your left leg, sort of like tree pose. Pivot your torso, aim your sternum at your left foot, flex your left foot back towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down over that leg. Inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. Exhale, think of lowering some more. Open your left arm out to the side. Turn your head, look towards your hand. Pivot your hand, point your thumb down. Bend your elbow, bring the back of your hand across towards your right hip. Peel your left shoulder back. Extend your arm again. Undo that pivot and bring your left hand back over by your right hand. Open your right arm to the side. Turn your head towards your hand. Point your thumb down. Bend your elbow. Reach the back of your hand across towards your left hip and peel your right shoulder back. Extend your arm again. Turn your thumb up. Reach your arm up alongside your ear, overhead, towards the other arm. Reach your arm back up and out to the right and sweep it across. Bring the right hand back over by the left hand. Walk your hands up the front of your leg and sit up. Let your arms help your legs extend the right leg. Bend the left leg and bring the foot across. Pivot your torso. Flex your right foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Open your right arm to the side. Turn your head towards your hand. Rotate your arm, point your thumb down. Bend your elbow, reach your hand towards your left hip and peel your right shoulder back. Extend your arm again. Turn your thumb up. Slide that hand back over by your left hand. Open your left arm to the side, turn your head, look towards your hand, turn your thumb down, bend your elbow, reach the back of your hand towards your right hip, feel your left shoulder back. Extend your arm and do that rotation. Reach your arm up alongside your ear, overhead towards the other arm. Reach your arm up and out. Bring it across. Walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Let your arms help extend the left leg. Nudge your legs towards each other. Bring the soles of your feet together a good distance away from your pelvis. If you can, slide your hands under your ankles. Grab the floor. If that doesn't work, reach over your ankles and grab the floor. Either way, walk your hands forward and let your neck disengage. Breathe into the center of your lower back. Slowly scoot your hands back, press up from the floor. Bring your heels in as close as you can. Clasp your hands over your toes. Wriggle on your seat. Tilt your pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge at the hips to fold forward with your spine long at first. See how far that long spine will go. When it's not going down anymore, let your head go down and breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. Bring your hands to the outsides of your knees. Push your knees up towards each other. Let your feet land. Plant your hands out by your hips. Wiggle your feet apart, maybe to the edges of your mat. If you're on a mat, let your knees go back and forth to whatever degree they want to go. Maybe turn your head towards the opposite side as your knees go down. And we're going to lie down. Have your blocks and strap handy. With your feet planted, scoot towards your heels. Come onto your forearms. Come onto your back. Heels in as close to your butt as they'll go. Put one block between your knees on the middle position. And we'll use the other block to take a supported bridge. Press into the soles of your feet. Inhale to lift your hips up. Bring the block under you, under your sacrum. And stay up there a little more if you want, but when you're ready, lower down onto the block. And we'll just let the block do the work for a minute. Think of sending your breath through the block. Press into the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up off the block. Slide it out of there. Exhale, slowly let yourself come down. Once you've landed, move the blocks well out of the way. Draw your knees towards your chest. Hug your knees. Rock and roll a bit on your back. Take your strap in hand, run it under your feet. Notice your contact with the floor. Keeping your head, your shoulder blades, and your sacrum on the floor, reach your feet up. So your legs and your strap and your arms are long, but you're grounded. Point your toes at the ceiling. Point your toes at your face. And let your feet relax. Slide your feet apart inside the strap. Take a couple breaths. Slide your feet back together. Take your right foot out. Press the back of your right leg to the floor. Hold the strap with your right hand and reach your left arm to the side. Draw your leg over to the right. Turn your head to the left. Now your sacrum will lift. Try to keep your shoulders grounded. Slowly come back up to center. Take the strap with your left hand. Press your right hand down on the front of your right hip. And let the limbs fall over to the left. Try to keep the right hip down. We always want to go very gently to come out of this one. Take your time To bring those limbs back to center, raise your right leg, step that foot into the strap, take your left foot out, press your left leg down, reach your right arm to the side, bring your leg over to the left, and turn your head to the right. Softly come back up to center. Take the strap in your right hand, press down on your left hip with your left hand. Let your limbs fall to the right. Nice and easy, come back up. Lift your left leg up. Draw your knees in. Set your strap aside. Reach your feet up. Reach your hands up. Take hold of your legs or your feet. And play with bending and straightening your arms and legs in happy baby pose. You can always take a different inversion if you like. And you can invert for as long as you like. When you feel complete, you can make your way to a resting pose of your choice. It might be the classic closing posture of corpse pose, Shavasana. But you can conclude your practice in any position where you can be comfortably still to just breathe and absorb the benefits of your practice. Focusing perhaps on your breath or on an intention you set for yourself. Or just unfocusing and breathing. Start to give yourself some deeper breaths and let your body slowly move around bit by bit. Invite your movements to gradually grow bigger and bigger. Take your time, moving mindfully, listening to your body. When you're ready to, you can gently sit yourself up. And if you like, you can bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for sharing in practice today. The light within me sees and bows to that same light within each of you. Namaste. And once again, I'm Leo Bray, here on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. Visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook. Stop by the tip jar and check out the class schedule. And feel free to leave comments and questions on YouTube or deliver them in person for the folks here live. Have a great day.